Hey guys, welcome to my channel Grim Life Gaming. For this new video, we'll actually be doing a bit of a tutorial on how to build better in Fortnite. So we'll be covering three main steps. So the first one is actually going to be related to your settings. Now, the biggest problem when people are saying, I have problem with building, is actually their frame rate. Now, I have my settings set to this just because this is how I prefer them. However, when I want to get very serious, I usually go for mid to high settings. Depending on your PC or your specifications, you might want to go for more low to medium. Now, settings that you definitely want to be off. VSync. Now, this will cap your frame rate to whatever your monitor's refresh rate is. Now, while that may look more visually appealing and can reduce screen tears, this will actually affect your performance and the ability to build. Second, motion blur. You definitely want this one off, because if the surroundings are being blurred when you're moving your cursor very fast, then you won't be able to actually see what you're doing. And in most games, you generally want to have this turned off. Now, show FPS is off currently, but I'm going to turn that on just so you guys can see the actual performance impacts that you can get. Allowing multi-threaded rendering is also a must. This will help improve your performance and FPS just in general. Now, what I'm going to quickly do is set these to custom. So I'm going to actually reduce my 3D resolution to roughly about 85%, as well as turning shadows completely off and turning textures down to medium. Now, this will give me a huge FPS boost. You'll also want to make sure that your frame rate is turned up to unlimited. When it's on unlimited, you won't be capped at any FPS, and your computer will just run as fast as it possibly can. Finally, if you can, I would recommend going full screen. Now, this actually does increase your frame rate drastically. However, for me, and for the sake of recording, I'm going to stick with windowed full screen. So we're going to hit apply, and there we go. Okay. So up there in the corner, we can see that the graphics don't look all too bad, and we're still hitting over 120 FPS. That's not bad to say that my system hardware is a few years old now. Even when moving drastically, the FPS remains solidly above 100. Okay, so now we're here, let's move on to the next step. You're going to have to be switching between your inventory and your blueprint quite a lot. So what I would recommend is selecting a keybind that is easy for you to reach. If you play on controller, then you can change this over here. However, they have already implemented some build controls and some other controller configurations, so you can choose and pick which one you prefer. So back into the keyboard presets, what I'm going to do is quickly reset all of my keybinds so that it's close to what you guys would probably be seeing. So we're going to actually scroll down all the way to building here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually set walls to the buttons on the side of my mouse. Confirm. There we go. Now I'm just going to clear all of these. That way we can actually see what we're picking a lot clearer. So one thing I recommend is using a mouse that actually has side buttons. That way you can easily change what you're actually building without having to stretch away too much from the control keys. So for a wall, I'm actually gonna go for the thumb mouse button. Now, this is an extremely easy button for me to press and makes building walls just so much easier. As for floors, I'm going to go for keys around my D key on the keyboard. So, since it's floor, let's go with F. There we go. Stairs will be C. I'll be using X as a roof. And then lastly, for a trap, I think I'll probably go backslash, seeing as I can easily reach that with my ring finger. Now, this isn't the only thing that we can change in the settings to improve the way that we build. One thing that I like to do is increase the mouse sensitivity. Now, I personally do this in my own mouse software on my computer. However, for you, you might want to go into your axis sensitivity and up it ever so slightly. We'll come back to this later as well when we talk about different training and practice. So the last point that it's crucial to bring out is practice. If you're not going to have the willpower to spend time practicing, building things even like this, then you're not going to improve in your building. What I would recommend is setting out some time for yourself. Maybe a couple minutes, maybe even an hour per week, per day if possible. And just try to practice building. And then maybe after a month, you might want to record yourself and see how fast you can build, or how much you could build in just a minute. And then, maybe in another month's time, you'll record yourself again. After that, you could check the difference between the two recordings and see the immense amount of progress you'll have made. Now, practicing doesn't just have to be in the game. Remember, when it comes to building, not only are you having to think about what happens in the game, but your mouse accuracy is also a huge important step. When editing, you've got to think about where you need to click next and how to do it as quickly as possible, especially if you need to create an opening to walk through. It's also possible that you might find yourself getting bored just practicing in the game over and over in a creative world. That's why I'd recommend other games, such as Osu, or fast-paced games such as Paladins or Overwatch, which require high accuracy and quick reaction times. So guys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please let me know by hitting the like button. If you have any other tips that you might want to offer to your fellow gamers, let them know down in the comments below. And finally, if you learn anything from this video, please be sure to smash the subscribe button, because we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. That's all from me. Have a good one.